natives are in a, well, we as Apsáalooke are in a state of emergency of preserving our culture, our languages, our song, everything's in a state of emergency since day one of the, you know, invasion, of the lands. We've
Mm-hmm.
been in a state of emergency of preserving just who we are and our identity. And so all the policies, that are put in place against Native people that aren't even being taught, in the schools. People don't even know about these things, They don't
Yeah.
know about assimilation. They don't know about the Indian Act. Andrew Jackson, what he's, trying to do to natives, Indian Removal Act, all these things,
Pretty much every treaty
sterilization.
was disregarded. I mean, it was, there would always be a
Yeah.
treaty, an agreement, and then years later, the American government would break it. Yeah,
For sure. Yeah.
over and
Yeah.
over.
And people always often say, oh, you guys made that deal, you guys made that deal, and that's why we have the land, because we made the deal fair and square. And like, are you kidding? The like we don't have the imperial mind, like the
Yeah.
conquest like that. And so of course it's going to be shady in the communication. We don't speak English language, and you got translators and you got all of these elements, you have all these things that go on,
Yeah.
and you just, they don't know what's going on sometimes. But anyways, there's just so much to go into
Sure.
detail about that stuff. So as far as me being raised in the church and my growth as a human being, um, and then back to Melina, right?
Yeah, you pronounced it perfectly.
Back to Melina's, when she said the fusion of the culture came in. So when I started doing Christian hip hop, and stuff like that, I never added the culture because of those things. Like, oh yeah, it's evil, and they say that it's evil. So okay, I want to appease the Christians, the native Christians of not being evil and putting away those things. Even though I continue to dance, I don't know, wear a mask in church so much, so many people, you know. But anyways, we I never added the culture, because always on the traditional side to appease them is like, yo, you don't, it's that's delicate, like all Apsáalooke music comes from the entity of wind. So Apsáalooke music is all spiritual. It is all said, like our songs come from the creator, from the element of wind, And so just to add that to anything, is like, oh man, somebody's gonna say something, they're gonna get mad, it's just like it's too delicate. So I'm just not gonna do it. So I never did all those years. All those years I just was rapping about Christianity and everything. And then as I grew, I
Walking
started making.
theological lines carefully.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you have that too as well. You have like theology, you have, like there's just so much.
Trying to appease everyone on all these
Yeah,
different
just trying
realms,
to
man.
please
Yeah.
everybody. It's
Yeah.
so exhausting, man.
Yeah.
I'm so free, I'm so
Yeah.
free now.
I
Like
can imagine.
from that, it's just it's crazy to be in that prison, I guess you could say. Sometimes it's a prison.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
so it was freeing for me along the way. Like I went through some hard stuff, and that was because when you're rapping for the Lord and you're doing good in life, and they're like, yeah, go, man. This guy, man, they're good Christians, they're good. And all of a sudden you trip and you make a mistake, oh, let's look for the next guy who's perfect, and not making, and then you see the
Yeah.
true colors. You see the true colors of the circle of Western church culture, the culture of Christians, and then
Bad
you're like,
supporters.
oh,
Yeah.
like, oh man, I thought you guys loved me. Now I'm
Right.
ostracized. I'm not holy enough no more. I'm not
Right.
worthy to rap or whatever. And
No.
so going through all of that stuff, I believe myself that it was the Creator's will, or he allowed me to lift that veil to see those things, so my mind would be open, my heart would be opened, and I wouldn't be trapped in there, no more. I'm so thankful that I had to go through that stuff. And so as I grew, going through those things, um, I still never added the culture. I still never put it in there
Mhm.
because I knew the elders were going to say something. You nobody was doing that. It's like sacred. You just don't do that. Keep it separate. But how it came was in Bozeman. It was in Bozeman at the MSU Native American Heritage Day. They said, "Can you dance?" We danced, and then we got done. We went off stage, and the lady said, "Don't you guys rap too? I heard you rap." "Yeah, we do." "Why don't you rap for these guys?" Okay, we'll go change and we'll come back. We're in our outfits. No, no, we want you to go on rap right now. So we were kind of forced
Wonderful.
into the position of
That's
rapping in the
great.
regalia. So even though it was simplistic, just kind of like, oh, well, we just didn't change our clothes. We're just in our outfits and we're going to do this other culture in our outfits. These two cultures are coming together by accident. And so we did. And people were like, yo, this is something else.
This is
What's
fire
going
right
on
now.
here?
These guys are charged up.
Yeah. This is something different. Wow, okay.
That is
Right.
amazing.
So it was
Yeah.
special, in that moment. And when we got done, this is the part that was the powerful part, the transition inside my heart. We went off stage, and then one of our elders was walking over. His name was Sargi Oldhorn. He's my grandpa. He just passed away last month, and so he comes over, and I thought he was going to scold us, because he's like a historian. He's like a medicine man. He knows the culture. He knows the history. He knows all kinds of stuff about being Apsáalooke. Very respected. And I thought, man, this guy's going to say, you guys shouldn't have done that. What's wrong with you? I thought he was going to say that. But he came over and I looked up and then he took his hat off, and he put his hand down. He goes, grandson, he said, I want to shake your hand. He said, that was pretty powerful. He said, you guys got up there, showed them all that you're proud to be Apsáalooke, and you're good dancers too. And then you spoke the language of those young people out there, which is rap, hip hop. He said, and they listened to you because of it. And then you had something positive to say. I heard you talking about being a father, being a husband, being drug and alcohol free. I said, man, that's it. That's where it's at. He said, keep that up. Keep doing that, man. It's powerful. Our young people are dying. They're committing suicide. They're on drugs and alcohol. We're losing our language. We're losing, our culture. He said, anything you do, to promote that and reach those people who are hurting. He said, man, it's worth it. He said, it's worth doing. Keep it up, boys. Right there. I was like, oh, hey, all right. This is a respected elder in our tribe.
You
For
got the
him to
real
say that.
empowered. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was like
amazing.
if he got up and he said that in front of all our tribe, had all our tribe there, and he goes, this is what they're doing, they would all say, it's good, it's good, because he's that respected. And so with that in mind, my heart changed. I thought, it is a good thing, it is a powerful thing to use this to promote culture, to promote positivity, and spirituality and things like that. It is a good thing.
Absolutely.
As long as it's delicate still, but as long as you keep that intention good, pure, and the culture, and you just kind of watch your steps.
Very authentic.
Yeah, it's a delicate thing. And
well,
so when
thank you
people
to the grandfather for giving you the thumbs up and the stamp of approval to
oh yeah, for sure. I
move
thought
into
about that, man, when
space.
I was at his funeral. I was just like, man, because of him, because of his encouragement that day, as like my heart changed. I probably would have never tried that. I probably would have never been confident to like put the two together. And so that's how it kind of came about.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That is so beautiful.
That's quite the gift to you. It's also that it started as kind of an improvisational thing, because that's such a core nature of hip hop. It's like it kind of in the American larger culture, like jazz was like the headquarters of improvisation for like decades, and then it became hip hop. And so like it's as it morphs and grows, like the way that you just did it on the spot and you were like, hey, let's just blend these things together on the spot. That's such a
That's
it just
true to
it's like
form.
a perfect fit for Yeah, that's it. I love that story. I'm so glad you told it to us. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say big plus one to that story because I think I missed that in the original interview of how this all just organically happened when they're like, you also rap too, and you're like, let me go change, and then she's like, no, keep that on. So it just everything fell into place, like the universe had set you up to throw you into this and have that, have that elder watching you at that moment at the same time. And I just think that's such a beautiful part of the story.
Yeah,
So yeah, thank
it's
you.
very powerful. Like I didn't know its power until later, until later on, and all these things happen, and then I would ponder, I would think about it, like, man, if that day, if that day didn't happen, I wouldn't maybe be, in this position of a lot of opportunities and blessings,
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
beautiful. Well, you have a lot of work to do, Superman. Your documentary was so inspiring, and it's really powerful, the work you do. And then I was doing some more research for our conversation, and just reading and watched a couple of documentaries about native reservations. And man, it's a bleak situation. I mean, we need you, and we need others like you that are making art and being creative in powerful, spiritually motivated ways, because the community is still reeling with that collective trauma. And I guess I would like to talk about that, about on the reservation, what are some perhaps misconceptions about reservation life, and what are some solutions? How can we help? How can other Americans not on the reservation um, lend our support?
For sure. Yeah. So reservation life, it's like third world country living, like it's it's crazy, like where we have this colonization, and it's not taught. I think in college you can take a Native American studies course, and then that's where people's minds are blown. They're like, yo, what the heck? It's
Yeah.
like this? We did this? Like, how come I didn't learn this in elementary school?
Right.
I thought Christopher Columbus discovered this. We had Thanksgiving, everything's all good with these natives,
Pilgrims, and yeah,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
like,
They ate dinner
Yeah,
together, and yeah,
sure.
very
propaganda.
whitewashed education that we got. Yeah.
Definitely. So there's that. It's the education part, and I think it's the shame of America. Like what was done to the natives is the shame of America, and so they don't want people to know. They don't want them to find out, because I mean, it's injustice. It's like, man,
Right.
we got to change the. There. I think America is afraid that people are going to be moved with empathy and say, we got to right this wrong, we have to right this wrong in some way. And so, yeah, the reservation living, I've heard also that, Hitler and what he done to over there with the concentration camps, that he got that idea from what was done to natives, taking their food source. And, that was the way right there, man. They took the food source, the buffalo, took off and that's crazy because the dance you see that I do, there's a story that it comes from the Buffalo Bill Wild West show, and actually he had a hand in the in that taking of the food source. He got his name from killing a lot of buffalo during that time.
Masses of buffalo. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's take the food source of them, put them on this reservation, and they'll be dependent upon us, and we can control them. And so that's kind of like where it went. And from that just has it's like a bomb being dropped, and just the waves are, just affecting everybody. And even me today, I'm affected by it, like our people are affected by it, like how we think, our mentality from living on the reservation and being just stripped and raped of our identities, and our spirituality, the dehumanizing that was done to native people, that we're still feeling, that we're still healing. It's such a traumatic thing. And so we're still healing from that.